horror movies, mutilation, decapitation, torture. Does that sound entertaining? More blood than a blood bank. Have we got your attention?
But yeah, no, I do have a question. This week, Jacob,
Okay.
I watched The Truman Show. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago about The Truman Show, just throwing, I watched it. I have to say, I don't like The Truman Show at all.
Well, I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah.
The Truman Show, I just thought was, okay, so was there more to that, or do you just want me to go off?
Oh, no. I got more, but I want to know your you enjoyed The Truman Show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so one of my big things with The Truman Show is, sorry, I have like a piece of fuzz stuck in my nose ring.
Ugh.
And it's stupid, but so I'll be doing this. Luckily, you can't see me.
Yeah.
But anyways, so my big thing with The Truman Show is, in movies in general, I love when actors do something different.
Yeah.
And at that point, Jim Carrey had been Ace Ventura, Living Color.
Yeah.
Like he was the comedy guy, Dumb and Dumber,
The Mask,
all these things.
Yeah.
Right. Just a silly old actor. And then you turn around and he did this.
Yeah.
This was a dark comedy, if you can consider it a comedy at all.
There are there are comedic bits in it.
Right, exactly.
So,
but for the most part, it was a pretty straightforward movie. It was pretty mundane, and it was very real. And I liked him in that role.
Yeah.
And though the concept of the movie was kind of wild, I still liked the idea behind it.
Okay.
I liked that they made the world fake.
Yeah.
Because it very easily could be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember people being like, I'm the Truman Show. Y'all are just actors when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I saw this movie. But when I was watching it, and I will agree with the casting. Yeah, Jim Carrey, the other actress that plays Jim Carrey's wife. I can't remember her name.
The other motherfuckers.
Yeah. Ed Harris is in it. That's fine. The whole cast is fine. What I don't like is that they tell you everything at the beginning of the movie. If I made this movie, this is how I would make it. We would be watching this movie about a guy, Jim Carrey. Looks like he lives in the 50s, kind of, but it's kind of modern. It's just like
a Pleasantville type town.
Yeah. But all the strange things that happen to him that we know as the TV show, we as the audience aren't introduced in that until the very, very end. That this, like when Ed Harris finally gets to talk to Jim Carrey, that's when we learn the whole thing has been this elaborate thing, that this has been a TV show. Your life is a TV show. What we watch is a man struggling with these weird events. He can't leave. He hears walkie-talkie radios that when he's listening to the car radio and stuff, and they're like saying where he's going and stuff,
Right.
Imagine watching that movie of a guy just living his life and strange things happen.
Yeah.
That would be a way cooler movie.
I think that would be an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I think so too.
And you would have to make it more of a spooky movie, more of a, not horror movie, but more of like a sci-fi darker movie, because the only reason to stay interested in those elements is because you don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Is it aliens? Is it something? And then you realize, it's just a TV show. That would be the biggest letdown. Finding out that it was a television show would be a letdown at that point, because you're like, Oh, dude, I thought that was
That it was aliens or the
right.
CIA or
Exactly. Exactly.
those are the reasons that this is happening, or like,
Right.
oh, this is some kind of no.
Oh, but this is MTV's Real World. Cool. Fuck.
Yeah,
I just wasted 2 hours of my time.
yeah,
But the
MTV.
way they present it, as he starts getting clues to the town around him, like, oh, he's trying to leave town. Uh, Start the waves so that he can't get off the beach.
Yeah.
Those things. Like, oh, you don't drive over bridges. The old, like his friend with the beers on like that whole thing. Like that that made it more interesting because then you're like, what are they keeping from him?
Yeah. Oh,
So
they know if he
the
leaves,
way the
TV show's over.
right, because he probably would not agree to be on the TV show any longer. But so I think that for the movie being what it was, being a TV show at the end, they played it properly.
Yeah.
If it was going to be more ominous and more dark, then yeah, they could have went with, like, if it was going to be aliens or something else,
Yeah.
or just some sort of like, oh, you've been eternal sunshine and spotless mind or something, you know what I mean, like some weird like uh uh Avatar type thing, like he
Mm-hmm.
wakes up in a deprivation tank, or those things could have played better as to no clues as what's coming,
Yeah. I think,
but
like, now that I say it out loud, like, I got two reactions. One, yeah, it would be a cool movie, but two, I think the audience would be like, you mean to tell me that I went through this whole movie thinking that it would have been aliens or the CIA, and it just
right,
turned out that he's on a TV show? That movie blows. This
yeah,
isn't like you said, an M. Night Shyamalan movie where it's like, when we learned that we learned that Robin Williams fucking, when we learned that oh my god, fucking Die Hard,
all right, let me
what,
Bruce Willis.
yeah, when we learned that Bruce Willis was dead the whole time in The Sixth Sense,
Well, I
that
don't know
was
if you know this. Robin Williams has been dead the whole time too.
yeah, that's why I was like, god damn it, Robin Williams. uh but
R.I.P. Robin Williams.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, it was great. But yeah, when that is a different feeling. Like that movie, The Truman Show, if it was like that, where we don't learn, it would have to be real dark. Like Jim Carrey
yeah,
literally losing his mind. Not like comedy, like I'm
right.
flipping out, man.
And that's another element to the darkness of the movie would be, is he losing his mind,
Yeah.
or is this actually happening?
Yeah.
So again, I don't think that this movie was intended to be that dark, so they played it really well
Yeah.
for what it ended up being. So I think they did it right. I I enjoy the movie. Like I said, it's not my favorite movie,
Yeah.
but it was nice to see him in something different. Like at that time, I think he had already done, or, yeah, he had done Eternal Sunshine on a Spotless Mind.
No, I think that
But
came later. I want to say that this was his first time going, I like
mm,
comedy, I'm enjoying comedy, but I'm going to go and do more serious style roles. And it was this, and then I think Eternal came out soon after, and then, like, what was that, 23?
see, I didn't hate that.
23? No, I didn't
Yeah,
either.
because again, we're talking about uh, him just doing something completely out of the off the wall.
Left field.
I like that. I
Yeah,
like that when an actor does that.
yeah,
So the Truman Show was 1998, and Eternal Sunshine on Spotless Mind was 2004.
yeah. That's just
So he
like
hadn't even done it yet.
when Will
Yeah,
Ferrell did, what was it, Stranger Than Fiction?
yeah, dude, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah,
Like that is by far my favorite Will Ferrell movie.
yeah,
I mean, not only is it a well written movie, not only is it like all the actors are good in it, minus Queen Latifah. But nothing against Queen Latifah. I love Set
mm,
It Off.
yeah,
Um, but everybody in that movie was so good. and it was like you were watching this happen to this guy.
Yeah.
But they played that, is he going crazy or is there something behind this, really well, and they managed to do it in also not such a dark manner,
Yeah, exactly.
because he thinks he's going crazy, but then he goes to Robert De Niro that plays that hilarious professor, you know what I mean, like, and he start thinking like, okay, maybe this is something that is explainable and
Mm-hmm.
it's not just in my head, even though nobody can hear this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see the author writing, or the author that is writing this story, you see her telling the story or having trouble with the story.
Yeah.
And you also hear in the beginning where he's like, Howard, well, I can't remember his name,
I
but
don't remember.
Howard Finkel or Howard Fink or something, like, I can't remember, but is going to die. And then he's like, "Wait, what?" So like,
Yeah.
you see the comedy in it immediately, because if you didn't, it would be a lot darker. And I think that Truman Show did that well, or did that good as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like they still have like this light-hearted style feeling of a movie,
Mm-hmm.
but undertone is very of a dark situation. You know,
Yeah.
is technically what they're doing on the Truman Show illegal? I mean, that's
Right. It's
technically entrapment of a child.
absolutely, yeah, that's absolutely non-ethical.
Yeah,
But in 1998, I was fucking what, 12? No, I was 14. I was 14. So ethics didn't really come into play because I didn't know what the hell they were.
yeah,
I knew you shouldn't steal and shit like
yeah.
that, but
Exactly.
like, can you trap a child in a fake world for 20, 30 years,
Yeah.
whatever his age was? Like, but yeah, so
Would technically his wife, because she's a hired actress, be considered a prostitute at this point because she's still getting probably a paycheck from SAG at least if she's an
well,
actor.
she might not be a prostitute. She might be an accessory to kidnapping, though.
I would think so. I really that it's iffy on the idea of like when we take morale in a movie where it's like, is this legal? You know?
Right.
But yeah, like I said, I just watched the Truman Show and it just kind of like I was just like, I don't know if I really like this movie and stuff. I don't know where it came from. I'm glad I watched it at least. I haven't watched it in
Yeah.
fucking years,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was just like, man, I really wish that we never learned, like it would have been a Sixth Sense and stuff, and we just watched this, like you don't get Jim Carrey, you dig up, Nicolas Cage because he needs he needs like acting roles. Nicolas Cage needs acting roles.